Okay, so part 2, how to know God. The best advice I can give you on how to know God is be alone with Him. Be alone by yourself in the quiet with Him, her, like slash him, her. Because when you're quiet and you breathe and you calm the mind and you bring your awareness into your body and how you're feeling in your body, and then you bring the awareness of your breath, whether you're breathing or not, and then you allow the body to just relax and let go and feel the strain and just the worry and all the fear you carry and the worry that you carry on the physical. And you just kind of look at it like a coat you drop off, or you trickle off you, and then you just realize that you're in the world of the physical, and the physical is an illusion. And while you're here as a spirit, you jump into the physical body, you jump into the physical action, and you get caught up in the drama. And you think that what you're acting out is who you are, and that's your life. That's just the drama. That's just what it is in the physical world. It's that action. It's that operating at a low frequency and pretty much in ignorance of your purpose here and what you're here to do. It's more animalistic. It's a low frequency. So we want to move our frequency up to love. So ask God, always ask Him, can you help me lift my frequency up to love where I can hear you? And you get that? We want to lift our frequency up to a level of love so that we can connect with God, because that's the kingdom. The kingdom is love. The kingdom resides in the love energy, the love frequency, which vibrates. Well, we should look at Power versus Force. That's a great book. And that measures frequency and tells you all about the frequency levels. And the higher the frequency level, the more God is present, the more truth is present, and you can trust that. I had a doctor, Doug Henderson, out in Ottawa, who measured the frequencies in one of my videos, and he told me it was the highest frequency of love and truth. I think a normal high Christed God channel frequency is around 1,000, and this was coming in at 1,600, I believe he said. And I'm not trying to, it's not me, that's why I can say it. It's God working through me. That's God wanting to be heard. And God wanting you to know that, ask Him in. First rule, you want to know God? You want to be best friends with God? Ask Him in first. Say, God, come in, enter in, help me out, come on, come on. Then start to spend time with Him, be alone with Him, sit down, and just say, hey God, it's me, it's so-and-so, just want to spend the first minute or two before I go to bed, say thanks for the great day. It was a hard day for me because I had to deal with this and this and this, and I'm feeling this and this and this. And just tell Him how you're feeling. Just tell Him what you're really feeling. And as you sit there in the dark for a minute, because it keeps your mind busy when you're telling Him how you're feeling. Because your mind has to be thinking and moving and active, and you won't know what to think when you first enter into this, down this journey and this road of being able to listen to God. You just have to be aware and accept your mind's always thinking thoughts. And that's okay. Just be aware of what you're thinking. And that's everything. That's everything, when you can be aware of the thoughts you're thinking as you're thinking them. That's a huge deal. Strive for it. Because once you become the observer and the witness to the thoughts that are in your head, now you can see how your mind is operating. And is it in alignment with truth? Is it in alignment with, this thought makes me feel really good, but when I think this same old thought, it brings me down, it makes me feel bad. I feel really, it just defeats me again and again. Be aware of the thoughts you're thinking when you do that. Because you're going to be in pattern from your childhood. And if you were a happy little child, hey, everything's great, I'm so happy, I'm enjoying the world and nature and everything. And every day at 4 o'clock, your mom or your dad came home and was angry and hit somebody, or just what you'd be traumatized at that 4 o'clock time. So if you have problems every day around 4 o'clock, maybe you should check out why. And then once you know, you're able to just let it go. Because it's like, oh, that's where that thought came from, but that's not my reality now. And I choose to see the thought, and I guess you could go and visualize your little child and go up to them and say, I know this is the thought you had when you were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is what you believed about yourself, but it was a lie. And now I'm going to tell you the truth. And then you tell your little child and your inner child how beautiful they are, how perfect they are, how wonderful they are, how full of love and light that they are, and that they're wonderful and they're here for their own purpose. They came here because they had something they had to do. And really, I find in the work I've done, the brighter the spirit, the more they tried to put your light out when you were little. So, strong adult, if you've made it through to now, and now go back and find your little child, love them, tell them they're amazing, tell them they're wonderful every single day. Be good to them, take them for ice cream, get them to tell you how they really feel. Read John Bradshaw's The Homecoming. Oh, there's some great stuff about writing with your right hand, writing with your left. Research that, because your left is your little child and your right is your grown up, and you want to write to your little child with your right hand. Pass the pen over to the left and have your little child respond back to you with your opposite hand, and have a dialogue with your inner child going back and forth. That was the most brilliant thing that I've ever heard, and it was amazing how that worked for me, and I urge you to research that out. I think coming to know God and recovering from past abuse is, it goes hand in hand for me, because that's how I got to know God, was healing my little girl. I wouldn't have had a reason maybe to sit still or ask God for help if everything was going along so well. But when things started going bad in my life and I started feeling bad about it, then I decided that I would go love myself enough to find out why. And that's what I want you all to do, is find out why you're not happy if you're not. If you're having trouble maintaining relationships, if you have drinking addiction problems, sex problems, avoidance problems, anger problems. These are all just low frequencies that you exist in because you're used to living at this frequency level. If you grew up in anger, you'll stay in anger. If you grew up in hatred, if you grew up in doubt and self-criticism, those are all low vibrations. But if you grew up in a home that was loving and supportive and kind and encouraging and proud and inspiring, if you grew up in a family like that, you're going to grow up and you're going to have an advantage, because you'll be actually functioning at a higher vibration. And usually, you'd like to think that those higher vibration people will make the world a better place, because when you're at a higher level, you move into creation. You move in closer to God. The higher you vibrate towards love, you move in more of an association or affiliation with God, where when you get to that frequency, you realize, hey, wait, I want to go higher because I want to know the kingdom of God, because apparently that's where the highest frequency is. Yes, it is. That's why you seek out the kingdom of God first. So it's really saying seek out love. Seek out the highest vibration you can. There. That's it. That's the meaning of that. Seek out the highest vibration you can. Go to establishments, organizations. Find people in your life that are positive, happy, loving, caring, forgiving, supportive. Find those people and hang around with them, because it feels so much better. But if you're talking to communicate with someone who's fault-finding, shaming, blaming, making you responsible for all their problems, looking to blame and hate, looking for a place to dump all their crap on that they've accumulated up until however old they are. And rather than look at themselves and say, hey, why am I alone? Why am I lonely? Why do I feel so lonely? Why can't I attract someone to me? I want to be in love so much. I want to be in love so much, but I don't know how to do it. And all I know are these low frequencies that I've been in. And when the woman meets the man, and you find somebody who is of a high vibrational frequency, and someone's in such a low vibrational frequency, what do you do with that? Normally you would avoid a person like that. Normally you would avoid somebody who is vibrating in that low level frequency, because you would normally avoid them. Like, if, you know, for me, it was people in my life, and I'm not going to say, but the point is you find people in your life that are of a low vibrational frequency. When you're around them, your chest gets heavy, you can't do anything right, you feel bad, they're judging you, you can't make them laugh, there's no comfort level, it's just strain. I'm not suggesting you go visit those people and be around them. I would say avoid them at all costs. Seek out people of a high loving vibration and you'll feel better. End of story. End of story. So, if you can't stop thinking negative thoughts, if you're always hurt, if you're trying to make yourself right at all costs, you may be right, but you may be alone being right. And then who's watching? Who's caring if you're right? Who's judging you if you're right? You're only judging yourself. So be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can be kind to yourself. How do you start? I'm going to speak loving thoughts to myself. Sandra, you've had a busy weekend. You've had a busy month and a half. Oh, I have. I've gone through a death in the family of a senior. It was time. But it's a lot of emotion. And all the disposal of all the things of that person and the letting go of the energy. And it's a process. It kind of stops your life for a while as you begin to let go of somebody in a certain energy that they carried. Sometimes they carried a bad energy and you're glad to see them go. Sometimes they were a light to the world, and your world is tiredly falling apart. Seek out other lights and that will save you. So anyway, if I love myself, I'll just do something I love. And what I'm really loving right now is being God's channel. Feels good. I'm meant to be doing this right now. I know it, and it feels so good to finally be able to be who I am and be the channel and be the voice of God. It takes a lot of, well, I'm going to say courage to go with your heart and your brains, like in The Wizard of Oz. You needed your courage, you needed your heart, you needed your brains, but you needed your youth, your childlike youth. You have to go back and recover that, bring it back to yourself. It brings wonder into the world. It makes the world wonderful. Wonderful. It makes the world wonderful to be a child. And why the world is wonderful. When you think like a child, it's because all things are possible. And you look at the world with new eyes and you wake up And it's not the same old day, the same old job, the same old marriage, the same old family, the same old home, the same old. When you go back and recover your little self, the world becomes new again. And your little child emerges and you free them. And you behold the world with the wonder that it is. And when you wake up every day and you see the world as a gift and a wonder, and you know God is behind absolutely everything that's happening in your life, that you know it's an adventure, and you never know what to expect each and every day, when you can live like that, you're in heaven. And that's where God lives. That's where love lives. My wish is for you all to be loving yourself, loving yourself to give yourself the present, the gift of the present, in wholeness, in good thoughts, free from the illness of the mind and the negative thoughts and the low vibrations. And I've been down there, and I am down here, and I've gone through the death and the resurrection of myself, and I've brought my little child back to life, and this is what she looks like. And she wants to have fun. She just wants to love everybody and be happy, and like you were when you were in the schoolyard and when you were little and you just wanted to sit and play and hold hands and just love one another. Love one another. Love one another. But first, you must start with yourself. You must love yourself enough to get to know who you really are. Okay, long video. Too late. Talk later.